First at 4, student loan forgiveness. President Biden just talked about his new plan, but watch for criticism from both ends of the political spectrum. And here's Kim Adams.
No storms right now showing up on exact track radar in our immediate area, but there are some up to the north that we'll track here coming up in just a few minutes.
The next generation of healthcare workers are being primed to dispense care, knowledge, and healing that's culturally sensitive.
It's absolutely life or death when it comes to the medical field.
The importance of cultivating diverse thinking and healing while still in high school.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Karen Drew. First at 4, President Biden is taking action on student loan debt, but it's likely a plan that raises a lot of questions. Kimberly Gill joins us from the newsroom. And Kim, there is an immediate benefit for millions of Americans, but then it gets a little more complicated.
Yeah, you're right, Karen. Good afternoon to you, by the way. The latest pause on federal student loan payments was set to expire August 31st. The president, though, has now pushed that to the end of the year. Student loan payments were first frozen at the beginning of the COVID pandemic, and the pause has been extended a few times here. Well, the president says this will be the final pause on payments. But here's the big news. The president wants to cancel $10,000 in federal student debt for millions of Americans. That perk is reserved for borrowers who earn less than $125,000 a year or families earning less than $250,000 a year. Some critics will say $10,000 isn't enough, but the numbers show nearly a third of borrowers owe less than $10,000. Also, borrowers who obtained Pell Grants are eligible for relief of $20,000. Most Republicans have been opposed to any kind of widespread forgiveness, but the president believes he's got the right compromise.
I believe my plan is responsible and fair. It focuses the benefit on middle class and working families. It helps both current and future borrowers, and will fix a badly broken system.
And you can sort through more of the details of the plan and how it changes things going forward online on our website, clickondetroit.com. The Department of Education should release information on how borrowers can sign up for the relief in the coming weeks. We'll have more on the plan when you join us for Local 4 News at 5. Karen, we'll send it back to you.
All right. Thank you, Kim. Well, a former Detroit police officer has pleaded guilty in connection with a federal corruption investigation. Former Lieutenant John F. Kennedy once commanded the department's integrity unit. He pleaded guilty to conspiring with another officer to commit bribery. Prosecutors say Kennedy agreed to use his influence as a supervisor to persuade other officers to make towing referrals to a specific towing company. Over nearly 3 years, Kennedy accepted more than $14,000 in cars and other perks. He faces a maximum sentence of 5 years and a possible fine of $250,000. Well, both candidates for governor of Michigan say they are ready to debate, but it looks like there's some differences that definitely need to be ironed out. Incumbent Gretchen Whitmer says she's ready for 2 televised debates starting October 13th. Republican Tudor Dixon tweeted she's ready too, but thinks the debates should happen before early voting starts, which is September 29th. Now, we did reach out to both sides to see if or how those differences might be worked out. We're working on this for you, and we'll keep you posted. Now, we did catch up with the governor for a few moments after she made a campaign stop over in Novi today. It was our first chance to ask her about that guilty verdict against the 2 men who plotted to kidnap her. She hopes the right lessons were learned.
For years, I've been asking people to lower the temperature. This shows that people will be held accountable. We settle our differences at the ballot box, and then we move forward. And I think yesterday's conclusion of the trial was a just result.
Adam Fox and Barry Croft Jr. were convicted yesterday and could face life in prison. They'll both be sentenced in December. Oh, we've seen so much sunshine outside our downtown studios today. Here's a look at the Detroit riverfront. A few clouds there, isolated showers at times. We are definitely in a nice end of summer groove. Let's check in with Kim Adams on what we can expect tonight.
It has just been a nice stretch of lovely weather. There's nothing showing up in the immediate area on exact track 4D radar, but just up to our north. Gladwin picking up a shower, also Mount Forest. If you head over to East Tawas, also getting a brief downpour, but these are not going to affect us here in Metro Detroit. We're going to stay nice and quiet for a little bit. Now, tomorrow we have a slight chance of a shower, but for the most part, it is going to be a nice end to the work week. It's a little warm out there, though, warmer than it was yesterday. 86, that was our predicted high, and that's exactly where we are this afternoon. 85 at City Airport, low 80s in Pontiac, so you've probably noticed a little bit more in the way of heat, although the humidity is still fairly low. So if you're headed out and about tonight, nice and dry, we'll be dropping down into the low 70s by midnight. More on that chance for rain tomorrow and what the weekend looks like coming up in the forewarned forecast.
All right, we appreciate it. Thank you, Kim. Ukrainians are celebrating Independence Day, but the anniversary comes with fears about the risk of new brutal Russian attacks. It's been 31 years since Ukraine tried to leave Russia, and it's fighting once again to survive all these years later. Residents of Kyiv woke up to air raid sirens, and crowd sizes were limited as the country showed off burnt-out Russian tanks from this new invasion. President Vladimir Zelensky marked 6 months of war by vowing to keep fighting for a victory. Also, President Biden announced he is sending almost $3 billion in a new military aid package that will allow Ukraine to keep fighting for years to come. First Lady Joe Biden has tested positive again for COVID-19. Just like the president, Dr. Biden is said to be experiencing a rebound case. So she tested negative yesterday, and also like the president, she was on Paxlovid, a treatment that has been linked to rebound cases. We are told the president is testing negative, and the First Lady remains in Delaware, where she has been isolating. Well, a new improved COVID booster could be just a few weeks away. NBC News reporting Omicron targeted shots could be available about Labor Day. Sources tell NBC the shots will be aimed at teenagers and adults as part of the FDA's fall booster campaign. Both Moderna and Pfizer have been working on boosters that target the BA4 and BA5 subvariants of Omicron. Right now, the CDC says BA5 is responsible for about 9 in 10 new COVID cases in the U.S. The government hopes matching the strain will make shots more effective and also offer longer lasting immunity. Diversity in healthcare isn't just a slogan. For some patients, it can mean the difference between life and death. We found a program focusing on future healthcare providers who can bring their different ways of thinking into the healthcare field. Paula Tutman was there for graduation today. She joins us live from downtown Detroit. Hi there, Paula.
Hey, Karen, so there are no short-term fixes for these kinds of shortages. We all know that. But this kind of long-term future investment is so multifold because it also addresses shortages in diversity. When you treat a patient for an illness, the way you treat cultural differences is equally important. And that's just one reason having a culturally diverse medical force is critical.
From the patient's perspective, when they're interacting with a physician or a nurse practitioner, they want to make sure that folks understand their culture, but more importantly, respect it and respect the decisions that they make and how the culture shapes their experience with health and health care.
Dr. Martina Caldwell,
Hey, Brother Will, you're looking great.
the medical director of diversity and inclusion for Henry Ford Health, doesn't just talk the talk. She's done the walk.
My only exposure to healthcare was from the side of my family being sick, and I wanted to be a change agent. I said, well, I feel helpless, right, watching my family interface with healthcare in a way that didn't feel authentic to us, didn't always take care of our needs. And so I wanted to be one of the physicians on the other side doing the service.
And from her own experiences, developed the Pathways to Healthcare Clinical and Research Careers program. Long name that in short took 16 minority high school students who for the last 4 weeks have been getting immersed in the possibilities of themselves in healthcare fields.
I definitely got to meet a lot of diverse doctors, and I was really happy with that because I didn't really think that there would be a lot of people our skin color in this field.
Like rising sophomore Jada Hill, who wants to be an OBGYN and actually got to watch babies being born.
Well, I love babies, so seeing live baby births was really awesome to me.
The program is as intensive as it is intentional.
This summer, these students had a ball. They also engaged in simulations where they learned how to suture, do robotic surgery, and ultrasound. They are CPR trained. They shadowed clinicians that look like them and do the careers that they aspire to.
And by guiding these students from Detroit and surrounding communities through what it's like to be a part of the medical community, it sets them on a pathway of making a difference because of who they are.
So it's incredibly important that sometimes when patients come into a building in their most vulnerable times, that they see folks who look like them. They see folks who might understand what they're going through. They see folks who understand some of those cultural nuances.
Okay, so how's that for what you do on your summer vacation? So this inaugural graduation class, again, this is absolutely huge for them, but it doesn't stop there because we also know that minority students have a lot of issues very often in getting funding for higher education. And so the program actually follows these students and helps them learn how to apply and navigate them through funding. And also, Jada got to watch babies being born. And that made it work, right?
Such a great
What did you do for your
right?
summer vacation? I watched babies being born.
Pretty darn cool. I love the story, and obviously such an important topic as well, diversity being injected there. All right, Paula, we appreciate it.